Welcome everybody to the first season game of women's Raven soccer against Oklahoma Wesleyan in this beautiful hot day at Veteran Stadium. See, during kickoff, we're going to see how the women start off the season. Hopefully on strong foot here. They finished 8-6 last season and went into the playoffs. Had some good results there. Into the season, well, just before the end of the season, had a really good game against a very tough team to make sure they qualified for a good seed in the playoffs. Got at least a couple games in. So we're hoping for a similar season this time, and already spending the first part of the game in Oklahoma Wesleyan's third. Goes back to Medi, who plays it back to defense. High press from Oklahoma Wesleyan. Cooley plays it back to her keeper. A little bit of a miscommunication there at the back. Not sure who was going to clean that one up. In the keeper's box right now, Catriona Burns. And Oklahoma Wesleyan, I was about to say with their first attack, but it looks like it's going to go to a Coffeyville throw-in as they start to move it back up the field. Coffeyville with a lot of the wind behind their backs there. Got a lot of fresh new players, some from all over the world. Just discussing a lot of players from Canada, from England, from Scotland. And we're hoping that everyone has had a chance to learn each other, because unfortunately, like last time, or fortunately perhaps, since they had all the fall to get to know each other before a surprise spring season, this time we're starting in fall like we normally do. So they've been out in the hot summer heat, getting ready for a normal soccer season. One hopes. Fingers crossed, everyone. Oklahoma Wesleyan loses it in the midfield. Coffeyville cleans it up. Looking, manages to play it towards the midfield. Tapped forward. She has a runner on the left. Wesleyan tries to get it away and fails. Coffeyville on the attack again. Good touch towards the center. Another play, finds Medi, always lurking at the center. And breaking some ankles out there already. Taking no prisoners this early in the game. Dropped out towards the corner flag. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit of a heavy touch there from Emily Hanna. But that's what we like to see. Looking for those opportunities deep upfield. And it's going to be a Coffeyville throw-in. Looks like it's going to be taken by Julia Mullins. And what a long throw-in all the way towards the penalty box, but sniffed out by Oklahoma Wesleyan. And the referee says it's a fair tackle. Not going to get past her like that. Wesleyan stuck in their own third right now, looking to play it up. And that's going to be a little too much to ask. Julia Mullins on the throw-in again. Good technique on those throws. Sure lets that thing loose. We've seen more goals from long throw-ins this season already. It's going to be safely played out there, just to be safe. No reason to take any risks at that part of the field. See a touch by Grace Higgins there in the midfield, trying to move it up there, but Oklahoma Wesleyan sniffs it out and are on the counterattack, but they do not get very far. Throw in from Oklahoma Wesleyan. Knocking it out safely there. Again, no need to take any unnecessary risks. Coffeyville looked pretty calm in the face of a counterattack from Oklahoma. This time, all the players staying pretty far away. Cleared up field. It's a quick touch, and it looks like that is going to be knocked away there. Believe that was a Valentino. Vergez on there, again, assuming the roster is correct. We are up here on the 5th floor. And for anyone listening, I did send Shicky an email asking if it was accurate, and he was probably busy getting his team ready. So I'm doing my best with the team up here in the box, of course, who are bringing this to you from broadcasting all around the world. I know that we've got some families watching all the way over in sunny old England, watching this at 1 o'clock in the morning. So if that's you, well, good luck staying up. I had trouble during that, doing that during the Olympics, but it's much different when you're getting to see your own daughter out there playing. And Oklahoma Wesleyan tries to send it upfield, but doesn't find any gray shirts, only Coffeyville. Trying to find an easy way to turn as she's closed down. Medi keeps it clean. Again, just trying to dump it forward, trying to find someone up there who can make a run. A lot of action here on the left flank. Just trying to unleash one of the forwards who can race one of the defenders to the ball and break through. So looking at a deadlock right now, both teams trying to exploit the other's defenses. Calmly sends it back to center defender, who looks to send it forward. We'll find only Medi, only danger in the center. She waits for a second to place it, and looks like it's going to go a little too far forward. A surprisingly non-windy day for Veterans Stadium. Sometimes you can count on those balls either to be stalled when they're against the wind or to go flying into the back of the net when there is. But right now it is hot and muggy and still outside. For good and for ill. Oklahoma Wesleyan being closed down on their left flank. Looking to switch the field. She's got women on there to pass to. And that was a heavy touch. She's going to regret that one. Tries to send it through, but gets a little bit tangled up in the legs of Valentina Vergez. Don't think she was expecting that. It's okay. Looks like it's not too bad yet, except this is the first time we've seen a forward break through the defense, and she opts to bring it back, cuts around, moves it towards the center, looking for some help, has to send it back, and just sends it straight through. And looks like that was technically offside, but they're going to go ahead and just let it play. So no danger there, but the first major attack from Oklahoma. Coffeyville on the attack as she closes down the defender. Looking to hopefully exploit one of those heavy touches, but Coffeyville's going to have to push up if they want to try to keep the ball in Wesleyan's third. Got another chance to unleash that same forward who has a half step on the Coffeyville defense. Again, cuts it back, moves it towards the center, opens up for a shot, and wow, just barely slips it in on the near post. You can tell Katrina Burns did not think that she had that on target. She might regret not diving for that one. Oklahoma Wesleyan draws first blood. Coffeyville will have to respond pretty quickly from that. Seemed like almost the carbon copy of Oklahoma's first attack. I'll probably notice that there's a serious danger on their right side, and we'll have to either mark her better or watch out for her breaks. It's a very quick player. I'd look up her roster, but then I'd have to open up another roster. Whoever she is, she's a very good player. So, Medi opts to just leave it for the back line. And again, Coffeyville tries to run up the left. The referee tries to play it on, sees that the advantage is not towards Coffeyville, and brings it back. Good call from the referee. And numbers-wise, it has number 24 as Emily Hanna, although even up here on the 5th floor, I think number 23 might be Emily Hanna. Again, we're doing our best up here. I will go off the quote-unquote official roster up here. Hard to tell from way up here, and I've been meaning to make an appointment with my optometrist. So if I'm wrong, blame it on that. Quick throw in from Coffeyville. Center defender sends it to the outside. She's on a high press. Has to send kind of an awkward ball back for their goalie, who has to take it on the first try. Sends it back to her. Marked from the back and is forced to let it go out for an Oklahoma throw-in. Oklahoma sniffing around like they think they might be able to get a second. Well, Oklahoma's goalie goes to consult with her coach. He's very confident that nothing's going to happen here in the next 10 seconds, apparently. And that's going to go out for an Oklahoma, for a CCC goal kick. And Coffeyville taking a short goal kick. Oh, she's going to want to leave that for the keeper there. Maybe let her just perhaps punt that out from the back. Or no, she'll opt to just roll it right back. A second try at it. Oklahoma Wesleyan playing up a very high press right now. Coffeyville hoping for a chance to counterattack. Oklahoma. An awkward clearance from the keeper is going to lead to a CCC throw-in far down the pitch. See if she opts to take another long throw-in here, or maybe tries to find Medi, who's, was open just a second ago, but looks like one of the Oklahoma players spotted her. Very smart. They know who she is. They know how important it is to mark her. A little push at the back there, and ref's going to stop play right there. Things have taken it quickly. Instead, looks like they're going to get some women in the box, maybe set up a cross. Some discussion with the referee as exactly where they're allowed to put the wall here. I think she may be able to easily knock that around to the wall's left and maybe aim for the back post. Could find a player there to help just tap it in. We'll see what she does. She does go around the left, but curls it around to the near post, and the goalie had to leap for that one. Excellent stop from the goalie, and a corner kick for Coffeyville. You can tell that's one she's been practicing for a while. Really good angle on that, around the wall and right towards the net. All right, looks like Coffeyville might be setting up for a short corner here. The referee's going to pull the Oklahoma Wesleyan player back 10. She's got a lot of red shirts to aim for. Opts to take it short, moves it into the box, then takes a shot on goal, straight to the goalie, though, who snatches it out of the air. Gratefully, one assumes. And again, she's going to dump it out to one of her defenders, and just barely missed cutting that out right there. That would have been a really crucial interception. But in the end, the pressure is enough to earn Coffeyville a throw-in. All right, the throw-in from Julia Mullins again. Emily Hanna knocking it to the center defender, Sharisa. Clears it back up the field, and it looks like it's going to just fall to Oklahoma. It's a mad scramble to get that ball under control. Meddy with the pressure, just enough. And Coffeyville's on the attack. They got 3 women up. They have 3 women up. Opt to drop it back. Little confusion as to who was going to pick that up. Nice, cool touch. Drops it back again. Resets the attack. Really close call there. Oklahoma did just enough to cut out the danger there. Not enough to win it back, but enough to cut out the danger. But they still can't seem to get it totally under control, except it's going to go all the way back to the goalie who traps it, then rolls it out. On the right there, you have Grace Higgins, all the way from Olathe, Kansas. An excellent stop there. Really watching that left side now, since that's what was exploited last time. Good defense from Coffeyville. Or I should say that's Oklahoma's left side and Coffeyville's right. And inside the box, looking to clear, and a good tackle there. Looks like that came off of the attacker. Will be a Coffeyville goal kick. Helps her up. It's a second really good tackle there. Really clean, really smooth. No protests from the Oklahoma fans or players. They know it too. Some very good touches from that Oklahoma player there. She gets it under control and sends it forward just as the forward came back from an offside position. And I don't think the ball came out. The players scramble for it. Came back from an offside position, that is, to receive it while onside, just to be clear. And Oklahoma crosses it in. Dangerous spot. Goalie jumps for it, and whoo, she's going to be happy to see that one go back behind the goal. She ran for it, and the Oklahoma Wesleyan player got a touch on it, but not enough to ultimately sit it into the back of the net. So it looks like we have a substitution here. I think that was Jaden Davis who just came off. There's a mistouch there, and Oklahoma Wesleyan's going to try to capitalize on that. Katie Burfoot there with a touch away. And Oklahoma has Coffeyville has the press on. Some pressure in the back. The referee didn't see anything he didn't like. Coffeyville manages to keep control, touch away from Oklahoma, and that'll be a throw in for Coffeyville. Meddy sends it into the top of the box in the center. Just looking for someone who can get it under control and get a touch into the goal, and as it just dies right there in front of a bunch of players ready to clean it up. Dumps it back to the outside to Julia Mullins. Sends it back to the center defender. She just sends it straight towards the goal. Well, straight in the general direction of the goal, I think. That ball is gone for some time. And no short ball this time. Good stop there. It's going to fall for Medi. A big boot up there from Emily Hanna, trying to find some help on the right side. Medi brings it down and drops it back again. Always very technical player. Very cool under pressure. Katie Burfoot takes some contact there from the Oklahoma player. Referee says play on. A little slow to get up, but she is getting up. And looks like she is all right to continue. She jogs a little bit. Maybe a substitution for her just the same, though. No sense taking chances this early in the season. No, actually, she is not going to be the one who substituted. Looks like we have number 27, Grace Higgins, coming off. And she is going a long way for that ball. In case everyone is wondering where the restart is, we need to get some of our helpers out there. We've got a few, but they are few is the key there. So hopefully we can get some out there. Of course, the men played earlier, but that was at 2 o'clock. Normally might play back-to-back as a bit of rescheduling there. So if you were expecting a 5 p.m. friendly away, well, we got a 2 p.m. home game friendly here, so hopefully when they're back-to-back, we'll have a little bit more assistance. And she dumps it all the way back to her goalie. I'm actually just now hearing that the 2 p.m. game was canceled, so the men down there enjoying this game, enjoying their pizza, are doing so feeling fresh, as one is when they're enjoying some pizza sitting in the stands watching a soccer game. So yeah, just a very fluid season so far. Of course, they haven't started their season. This is the women's first season game. The men have yet to start theirs, so we'll have that to look forward to in the future. Can't wait to see them back-to-back. But for now, the women are the main event, and we are here for it. It looks like we have a throw in here for number 23, Julia Mullins. So off the Wesleyan player, who's looking to play her teammate in, but in the end, banks off of her, and it will be a throw-in for Coffeyville. And looks like it's going to fall in the midfield there with a little bit of space for Oklahoma to work a possible attack. But nope. It's going to get, I was about to say it was going to get sniffed out, but it looks like they've got another bite at it here. Marked closely there by Riley Palmer. Katie Burfoot, bit of a mistouch there. Looking to bring it down. Oklahoma's still in control. Keeping it under control. Just touch, pass, touch, pass. It's being forced back outside the box, looking to square it. But no. Not given any space to do that. And again, trying to unleash that right forward there. But just can't seem to get the pacing right, the timing. Still working. Getting that exact attack ready. Looking good so far. And well, just launches it straight up into the other player there. believe that touch was number 7, Abigail Moss. And the ball's traveling. She tries to volley it, gets kind of a half touch on it. And yeah, eventually that's going to travel out for a goal kick. She got a greater connection on that. That might have made it 2-0, but she only got a little bit of it, and ultimately not on goal. So to Emily Hanna at the back. Coffeyville taking it easy here as they try to draw the Wesleyan players a bit closer before they ultimately send it up the field. That's a bit of a miss hit there as Katie Burfoot picks it up. Is looking for some help there on the flank. Again, all the way back. Takes it on the first try. A little bit of a light touch there. It's got some pressure on her. Plays it off the Oklahoma player, so she'll earn a throw in. Think on the wing, or rather in right defense. I think it's Riley Palmer again. So looks like we got another substitution here. I believe that one is going to be Julia Mullins being subbed off. Oklahoma's been charging up that side a little bit more here in the last 10 minutes. So, got some fresh feet there. Katarina taking her place. Oklahoma, I believe she was not offside according to the linesman, but in the end it's not going to matter. It's going to go out for an Oklahoma throw-in. It's one of those tight ones, but we do not have VAR in the KJCC, and thank goodness for that. So, we live by the moment. Is it KJCC or KJCCC? There's some C's in there, is what we can all agree on here up in the booth. And a throw in into the box. Traps it, sends it up, got about a half foot of space and closed down right as she tried to unleash that. That could have been a possible goal right there. Oh, tries to backheel it, keeps it under control, finds Katie Burfoot, who sends it back. She's got help on the right side. It's going to try to beat the Wesleyan midfielder. Ultimately, it's going to travel out. That was an excellent counterattack from Coffeyville, even if it may have been snuffed out at the end. It's 3 C's. KJC, CC. So, having 3 C's is the appropriate amount anyway, as we've established here at CCC. And sending it up the field, but that's sniffed out pretty quickly. I believe that was Emily Hanna who was in charge of that. Once again, she's going to be sending that forward. Just catches it a bit on the side of her boot there. And Oklahoma will have to throw in again. 17 minutes left in this first half. Been a very technical game so far. Nothing major, no major fouls or anything. Just a game of passing and position and one brilliant run from Oklahoma. It's one of those games where a little mistake can cost you a lot when both teams are very skilled. Again, showing some more of that from Oklahoma as they coolly knock it around the back as they look to press forward. She lines herself up. What a great touch forward that was. Finds the feet of her comrade perfectly. And now they're moving up their left flank. Yeah, that's not going to do it, though. She's ready for that. Gives it to Medi back at midfield. And our fresh-legged defender sends it forward again. She's got some options there. Well played there, following her run. Unfortunately, just put it behind her there. I believe she was looking for Abigail Moss there. Just put it behind her by about a foot or so. Wasn't able to turn back and grab it in time. Being closed down by Alia JD. I'm going with JD. Again, sorry if I get any of the pronunciations wrong. And, oh, Oklahoma with a really good chance here. Good touch back from Emily Hanna. A lot of potential danger in that. It's going to get moved up again to Abigail Moss. Excellent stuff there. Finds her teammate in the midfield, drops it to the left to our fresh-legged defender, as it were. Sends it forward. Bit of a heavy touch there, but Coffeyville will win it back. And Medi was a good choice there to drop it too. He takes a breather for a second just to survey the field. Oh. Looks like it's going to travel just outside the box, and there may have been a bit of contact there from one of the Coffeyville players and one of the Oklahoma players. She went up to get a boot on it. There may have been a bit of contact with that boot and the player's stomach, but it looks like she's okay to keep moving, so might just have been incidental contact, which we're happy for. Oh, she's got excellent steal there. She's got some help in the center. She drops it to the center. Oh, crucial touch from the Oklahoma defender. Oh, she hadn't gotten that. It was absolutely going to be one square. But instead, they have a chance to play out of the back. But Coffeyville's got a lot of players forward right now as Abigail Moss is on her. And going to drop that forward for an Oklahoma throw-in, and they will be happy for the temporary breather. As the goalie congratulates her defender for saving her bacon. Looks like we've got a double Coffeyville change coming up here next time we have a stoppage of play. Probably the strongest attack we've seen from Coffeyville, the one with the most promise there. All began, of course, with some very aggressive play from Aaliyah, who was up there and ready to close down the defender, and that may be how Coffeyville gets themselves back in the game. They had enough players forward to make something of it. Just in the end, the defenders were wise to it. So we'll see what happens next time. So get another substitution here. Again, that double substitution. I believe coming off the field right now. Or rather coming on the field, I should say. I believe they're resubstituting the left defender. So Julia Mullins is back on. Probably feeling refreshed. There's a lot of red shirts pretty deep up there. Wondering if they can exploit some of the difficulty Oklahoma's having. They do get a touch, and she is onside. She turns, drops it back again. Takes a bit of a hit. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go out there. The referee opted to let them play on, so she took the shot and just a little left of the net. It's Oklahoma Wesleyan now. It's trying to maintain their lead. 12 minutes to halftime. It's a precarious lead indeed. No rhyming intended. Oklahoma a little bit uncertain now on the ball for maybe the first time in the game. Maybe sensing that Coffeyville wants a goal, and they've got the women forward to make that happen. And looks like she just couldn't keep that in. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Protest from the crowd. Unfortunately, the crowd does not get a flag to wave, so it will be out for a throw-in. Actually, a pretty decent crowd down there for what is a still pretty toasty evening. But they're also excited to see this. And as Emily Hanna is going to try to run down this forward, she's going to opt to move back towards the center. Good head away there in the box. Crucial head away. Another head away. She's got room to turn. As Burfoot looks to release someone. Oh, and took some contact off the ball there. Some extracurricular contact, as it were. And she wins Coffeyville the kick. I was about to say it looks like it's going to be taken by Julia Mullins, but instead they're going to give it to Emily Hanna, who has been taking the majority of the free kicks tonight. She may opt to just send that as far forward as she can, maybe to get it into the box after the first bounce. And yeah, it looks like she is aiming towards the box, and it does take that bounce. And the goalie was wise to it. And Oklahoma once again coming out of their back third. Bit of a heavy touch there. Goes out for them to earn a throw in. If that Oklahoma player moves forward any further, she's going to be in the net. She takes a few liberties there. Looks like that same player will have another throw in. Oh, good turn there from that Oklahoma player. She's marked by Meddy, who's also got a burst of speed, who cuts it back, turns around, has plenty of room for Emily Hanna to turn and take her time with it. She launches it forward, trying to find the legs of Aaliyah to bring it forward, and it's going to go to her again. She jumps for it. It's well marked by Oklahoma. She keeps getting knocked around a little bit, but finds Katie Burfoot, who's trying to turn with it, who's well marked. And Oklahoma trying to switch the field here, maybe thinking that other side's a little bit crowded, perhaps. That's been where a lot of the action has happened since that first goal, about 8 minutes into the first half. And heads it forward, but doesn't go too far. Oklahoma has 4 women forward to pick it up, but it's only going to go as far as Meddy. His midfielder's going to have to get back. Anticipating the turn there from the Red Ravens, but it looks like in the end it did not matter. She was able to get away just the same. Katie Burfoot holds up pretty strong in the face of that. Meddy gets it back to her. And kind of contact from both players, but only one of them went down. Looks like she wants to send it into the box. She does so, goes low. Got a lot of good pressure there going on, and oh, that didn't go too far. Hanna looks to maybe send it up the wing, but no, instead cuts back towards the center. And that's not Katie Burfoot there, I believe. Was hoping to trap that one. She's in a pretty good position, too, with that under control. She would have had a lot of help trying to get that into the back of the net. Instead, Oklahoma's on another attack, and what a well-weighted ball that is. Ooh, that player is going to want that opportunity back. She had beaten the goalie. She had so many options, and in the end, it just did not go into the back of the net for her. And you can hear the audible sigh of relief from Catriona Burns. And Burfoot with the touch there, finding Julie Mullins on the outside, goes up the pitch, and oh, unfortunately doesn't find anyone, as Meddy might have to be on cleanup duty here. Good turn from the Wesleyan player there. And referee doesn't like that. He's going to bring that back for an Oklahoma free kick. Interesting that they're not sending a lot of women forward to pick that up with, opting instead to only play about 3 forward. But it looks like it might be to their advantage here. turns and fires, and this time she dives for the near post. Not going to let that happen again, but it'll travel out. Just 6 minutes left in the first half. So far, been a pretty exciting game here. One goal relatively early, and a lot of build-up play from both sides since. Looking to exploit mistakes, carve through that defense. Looks like Wesleyan has 4 players at the back. And they're able to keep that one in, looking to unleash her compatriot, who will most likely get to it in time. Just because you get to it, though, does not mean you will keep it. Bit of a heavy hit, and Medi sends it back towards the back line of Oklahoma. This time it's going to travel just up the field. She has a chance to race Oklahoma for it. And she makes the very wise decision to just kick that out there. That was Aaliyah fighting for it, and she will opt to give the throw-in to Julia Mullins here, who, talking about earlier, so that's a pretty good long throw-in. In fact, she seems to maybe want that again, another chance of that while there's a Coffeyville substitution. Good header, sending it back towards the center. Katie Burfitt turns with it, looking for help on the back post. Anticipating the goalie really trying to launch it forward, but instead she does not get it very far. The referee sees nothing wrong with that contact right there as Oklahoma is exploding out of the back. They have 5 women forward against very few Coffeyville defenders. Only 2 left. Cuts it back towards the center. She's got a lot of help. Instead, just grabs it and sends it to a teammate. Nice tackle to cut out the danger. Keeps it from going out. Emily Hanna looking to send the ball forward, up the line. Well played there as we've got 2 against 4 here and 3 against 4. And she does not quite get that slide tackle. And sends it into the center, and the goalie is wise to it. What a good counterattack, though, from Coffeyville. Both ends of the field football right now. One end to the other. This is what we like to see. Looks like the referee's just making sure she's okay. Maybe had a kind of a bit of a dangerous stop there, but it always is when there's an attack on, so good that she did not get injured in any way. And Coffeyville seems to really want to go to halftime with things all square. But with less than 3 minutes left, it's going to be Oklahoma's job to hold on to that. Been pretty strong on defense so far this game. A few minor mishaps, but nothing too major. Little bit of off-the-ball contact there behind the referee. The crowd saw it, but of course the referee did not, and looks like his linesman was more concentrating on the throw-in. Nothing too major, though. Looks like there's a foul throw there, so it's going to go to Oklahoma. She is happy to take her time, and they have plenty of women in the back to build out from. And even though she seemed to know exactly where she was going, still is beaten. And that's going to be out for Oklahoma. Once again, sending it back. Got 3 red shirts. basically inside the box right now. Again, just waiting for a mistake, hoping to force a mistake. And close down very quickly as she tries to turn. Good cut there. Very calm in a very dangerous position. Moving up their left flank now. Abigail Moss covering. Meddy picks it up. 28 seconds left. Coffeyville with a chance to attack. Oh, looks like it just got away from her. It was Julia Mullins on the near side. And that may be the last attack of the game, as Oklahoma is happy to watch the clock run down. So after a 15-minute break, we will be back for the second half. Unless something happens in the next 2 seconds, we'll be back for the second half. And join us again, and we'll see how the Ravens can go charging up the other side. In the meantime, we'll see you then. And welcome back, everyone, for the second half. Coffeyville versus Oklahoma here. Looks like we got a few substitutions. I believe we have a new goalkeeper in for Coffeyville, Alessandra Thompson, now protecting the Coffeyville goal. And looks like we got a handful of others there. I believe on the right flank nearest to us is Jaden Davis. Don't believe she was starting. Katarina behind her. And in the center right now, Grace Higgins taking the kickoff as we wait for Oklahoma to get their players in order, doing one last substitution. And referee checks with both coaches, and we are ready to start. Touches it back to Medi, and we are off. Coffeyville has 45 minutes to make up this 1-point deficit. Could happen relatively quickly if we're lucky, with Abigail Moss trying to send it forward. At 5'9", she's a big figure on the field compared to some of her teammates, and indeed the Oklahoma players. Never a bad attribute to have out on the pitch. And in the back, Emily Hanna sends it forward. And Coffeyville is playing far up now, trying to force a mistake from Oklahoma, but in this case, Oklahoma is going to be the beneficiary of a free kick. Maybe a little extra word there from the referee, who thought maybe that foul from Aaliyah was a little bit on the borderline side. Nothing to warrant an official caution, though. Good cut from the Oklahoma player, as unfortunately she just sends it behind her runner. Medi snaps it up. Looks like she was trying to find Katie Burfoot there. It's going to go out for a throw-in. There's a lot of gray shirts. Man, quick turn right there. As she's definitely starting this first half off with a bang. That's the second foul that's been called against her in almost as many minutes. As the referee is once again maybe gesturing in her general direction. You can tell some players are starting the second half with a bit of a hunger to them, wanting to make something happen. That is, of course, what almost gave Coffeyville the tie. There was a high press, was players really putting a lot of pressure on Oklahoma, trying to force turnovers, and Abigail Moss trying to do just that right now. It's going to be kind of a heavy one there. We'll opt to send it. Well, looks like no, she's just going to shepherd that out for a goal kick. That was definitely the right call. Tell the woman who was marking her was hoping she would do that so she could try to close her down to get Alessandra off guard in her first real call up to do something, but in this case she'll be spared that for now. And it looks like there's going to be just beyond Jaden Davis there. Jane Davis all the way from Oklahoma. Despite me being born and raised in Oklahoma, I have no idea where Catch is. So if anyone is listening from there, feel free to correct me in the chat and tell me, how far away from Tulsa is that? That's how I measure everything in Oklahoma. And speaking of Oklahoma, moving it up the field. Some confident short touches here. And oh, that was a well-weighted ball right there. She'll have some time to settle that. And what a cross. And that was a very smart play right there, opting to just go ahead and touch that out. She had a forward lurking behind her, was really hoping she might try to leave that or trap it. And again, she thinks it's safer to give them the corner than allow that play to continue. And I happen to agree with her. So the first real opportunity for Oklahoma this half. I should say the first real set piece opportunity. Of course, they've already had a pretty good one. Looks like she's going to try to curl that one into the far post. And that's going to go a little bit further past the far post than I think she would have hoped. And that'll be a goal kick this time. Yeah, looks like she was maybe hoping that she would have someone a little bit further out, perhaps, or maybe she just overhit it a bit. And again, just going to try to switch fields here, try to find someone who's open. Oklahoma taking some quick touch and passes. They've been pretty good at that, kind of like a tiki-taka type play. You don't see that too often these days anymore. It's nice. But Medi's going to get the turn and sends it forward. Oh, that was she dropped that off well, but it looks like it's going to be a foul called on Oklahoma, much to their disagreement. But again, only the people with the whistles and flags matter when it comes to that sort of thing. And is Medi going to set that up? It's like, no, she's going to set it up and then go ahead and move forward. As Emily Hanna opts to take it very quickly. And it's going to travel out for a Coffeyville throw-in. And the ball's in a dangerous area right now. Looks like that was off a Wesleyan player, so it's going to be cleared up the field for another throw-in. It's going to be probably taken pretty quick there from Julia Mullins, who we saw taking a lot of throw-ins from this side of the field in the first half. Again, lurking around, just trying to find someone who's open. She has a chance to cross. She's got about a half a foot of space. Only goes as far as Coffeyville, sends it back towards the center, cleared out yet again. Medi with the turn. And again, trying to unleash that dangerous player they've had on the wing. She's very skilled with her feet, very quick, exploding out of dangerous areas a few times, and already been a threat this half. Of course, she was one of the architects of that very first goal. Can't forget that. Very first and only goal up until this point, but I doubt it will stay the only goal for the entire game. Plenty of time for both teams to add to that tally. It's a good touch there from Coffeyville, trying to just squeeze that one through. Well read. She saw that one coming from a mile away. She sends it back into the danger zone. And Coffeyville will be the beneficiary of that with a throw-in. Good solid touch up there from the back. Makes it look easy. And I believe we have a throw-in from Katarina. Yep, that was a foul throw there. Leg kind of popped up. She didn't seem too proud of herself, but it happens to the best of us. Coming all the way from Napoli. Remind me to ask her opinion on the Italian food that we have in Coffeyville. I'm sure she's a fan. Quick throw in there from Oklahoma. She's got a lot of options what to do with it. Takes it nice and calmly. Creates a triangle to build out the back. And I'm not sure who she was aiming for. That one might travel all the way out for a goal kick. The wind's picked up just a little bit in that direction too, so the defenders are happy to use that to their advantage. Uh-oh. Oh, well, a bit of a mishit there. Second mishit. Oklahoma squanders what could have been a really promising counterattack. So we'll have another throw in from Katarina here. And that was the third foul throw of the game. She does not seem to agree with the referee, but unfortunately I have to give that one to the referee there. He was absolutely right. relatively uncommon thing, too. Medi presses, takes it away, breaks a few ankles, as she does. Like that smooth turn. It's like, I'm not under any pressure. I got plenty of time. But with 3 players forward, Oklahoma has another chance here. And I believe that was Katie Burfoot there, who was the beneficiary of that. Abigail Moss in there. Oh. Just barely knocked it away from Grace. Oh, looks like that she was offside by a country mile. And we'll have a free kick for CCC up here. No problem from the linesman. They've had a relatively easy game. Actually, not too many offside calls. I believe there's only been 2, maybe 3 if I'm forgetting one. Shows a very disciplined front line from both teams. Medi gets a good touch on it. Abigail chasing that one down. Oof, caught that one a little rough, but in the end, Oklahoma will get the throw in. She's got some help in the back, but instead decides to try to send it forward. But that is just going to go out for another throw in. And just looking to maybe send it back. She's really heavily marked, and of course, Medi will be there to assist, as she always is. Of course, her sophomore year, we remember her well from last season here, where she was a constant presence, a constant annoyance to the other teams, one might say. Always good to see her back. And what a good ball as she races for that on the outside. She gets a touch on it, but in the end, it looks like it's going to be carried away, and I think they're counting on being able to get that. They do. She goes down afterward. I think she's claiming that she got a little bit of rough contact there from the player, but she'll be able to stand back up. I believe that is Aaliyah over there. She's kind of running a little gingerly right now, so hopefully she's okay. She did get up. Katarina sends it towards the middle. Tries to do a little back heel there. Gets it tangled in her legs a little bit. That was Grace with the last touch there. See Shicky having conversation with some of his women on the bench. Maybe considering a substitution here soon. And yeah, Oklahoma will get that free kick right there. And Oklahoma seems to feel free to kind of just knock it around a little bit. One might think that they're trying to waste some time, but there's quite a lot of time left. It can be dangerous, but no. Looks like they found themselves a spot to attack from. We got a throw in for Oklahoma here. Good throw in. And a bit of a collision there after the hit. Looks like both players will be getting up though. Referee's there to make sure everyone's okay. No problem. Very quick goal kick. As the Oklahoma players are being urged forward by their coach, as they seem to be happy standing where they are though, and Coffeyville's going to be playing out now. Good first touch there. Finds Grace in the center, who's looking to turn. Finds Abigail on the other side. Several touches there, a bit awkward there. Was not able to keep total control of it, but she's going to try to race it down. Medi puts a boot in, still gets away from her. In the end, Coffeyville is the one who is going to try to build back out again. Is she going to be able to save this? Just a little bit too far out for Alia. And I think the referee is going to call that as a foul against Oklahoma there for that touch. Just a little bit too much. It's a well-weighted ball right there. There's a lot of opportunities for some red shirts to get that under control. And yeah, that boot was a little bit high for the referee's liking, and I think Grace felt the same way. So we'll get an indirect free kick here at midfield. So this time, will they opt to take it quickly, or will they try to set something up? Chances of hitting that in without finding another touch are pretty low, so she drops it into the top of the penalty box. Plenty of red shirts, though, ready to get that second touch. Again, drops it into the penalty box. Just unable to get that under control. Believe that was Jaden Davis who was trying to bring that down. And we'll have a quick Oklahoma substitution. Half is flying by. 16 minutes down already. 29 to go, and still we stay 0-1. Medi heads it forward. Oh, good job keeping that under control, just in like an inch in play. Oh, good step in. She timed that perfectly. Of course, now Oklahoma's going to try another one, and she's got that same player who was basically unmarked in the center. The goalie hesitates, but thank goodness she didn't hesitate a half second longer. She's able to just touch the weight. That's the first time that Alessandra's really been called to make a big decision, and we have an Oklahoma player on the ground. Looks like she's got, looks like she was stretching out really fast there. Unsure whether she was able to get up quickly, but she doesn't seem to want to be subbed out based on that body language. So again, good stop there from Alessandra. Always a tough decision to make for a goalie. Do you run out? Do you stay back and stay on your line? And a little some discussion as to how this drop ball is going to go, which is fair. Looks like in the end they're going to let her drop it back to her own player. Uncontested drop balls being the preferred method for these sorts of things. Oh, gets knocked forward by Coffeyville. Looks like the goalie's going to pedal back so she can pick it up. Just pops that one up very smoothly. And she launches it out to the left side where she's got a player with plenty of space to work with and some help. But of course, no help is strong enough to keep you away from Medi, always lurking in the midfield. She ever wants to start a metal band called Lurking in the Midfield, I will be there at every show. And with the lights on, as things grow dark around the stadium, things start to cool off. Both teams wondering who's going to break this deadlock here. Only the one goal so far. Medi gets a piece of that. Looking to get another piece there, even if she has to go through a player to do it. Falls well for her, gets a touch on it, tries to continue forward. Oklahoma grabs a piece. Aaliyah fighting for that. Looks like she wants to turn. Cuts it through the legs, gets it a second time. She is unstoppable right now. Tries to cut it a third time, but third time is the charm for Oklahoma as they're finally able to put a stop to that, frankly, disgusting attack she was making on her own there. We love to see it. Very good stuff for her. She's been incredibly active this second half, been a constant presence there on the far side of the field. may yet have a chance to make a huge difference in the time that's left. Oh, just a little bit of a touch there, but not enough to knock it away. She is well marked there. She has so many red shirts around her. Find some help, but even though she had some space, wasn't able to take advantage of it, and now Coffeyville's got a little bit of room to work with. Oklahoma defense sends it forward again. And looks like they're going to watch that travel out. Perhaps, no, it did not go out. Still in play. Betty pops it up and back. Should maybe let that one travel through. Oh, no, she opts to trap it. Oh. Whoo. So the referee's not going to say that was a foul. Kind of happened after she took that touch right there. It's understandable. Quite a big risk there from Emily Hanna in the back. She got an okay hit from it, but I'm guessing she didn't hear from her goalkeeper in the back, so she opted to take it herself. Can't hear that all the way up here, of course. You can hear a lot up here, though, and those of you at home may be getting to hear some of the crowd sounds, which we're very happy for. Not to mention, you can always hear Shicky from up here, so if you're taking notes on his technique, well, you can get all that action from the box way up here on the 5th floor, Veterans Stadium. As it goes all the way back to the Oklahoma goalkeeper, she ponders where to hit it and places it very well again. That same player, always finding some space there, always available for those. Looks like getting another Coffeyville substitution. Okay, I was about to say a little brief confusion as who was getting subbed off. I believe that's going to be Aliyah who was subbed off. She could probably stand a break at this point. She's been going pretty hard on that side. And knocked forward there by Katarina, looking for fellow players. Oh. What a ball, too. And, oh, unfortunately, what a heavy touch for her. She is not happy with herself. She knows a better touch, and she would have had an excellent opportunity for a shot on goal. She may regret that, depending on how this next 24 minutes goes. Or maybe it might not matter. Only one way to find out. As Coffeyville takes, or excuse me, as Oklahoma takes a quick throw in. Closed down there by Grace. She's going to try to be a bit more cautious this time after that first heavy touch got her. And this time she's able to plan it out and get a much smoother one. Good for her. I believe that is Julia Mullins on the left side. Left back, one of my favorite positions personally. And what a well-weighted ball that is right there. But looks like she wasn't able to make anything happen from it. I think she was hesitating, thinking the Oklahoma player was going to try to boot that forward. She goes in hard, and honestly, she kind of gets the brunt of that as Oklahoma restarts quickly. Medi going in hard this time. Little back heel there, is able to find her way through. Medi traps it. And, ooh, looks like she just kind of mishit that just a little bit. She wasn't expecting that to go exactly like the way it did. That was Katie Burfoot there. Number 3. Is the referee going to bring it back? No. Okay, that's no need for any official cautions just yet. Been a fairly clean game so far. That's what we like to see. Closed down by Grace there. And, of course, on this side, we have Jane Davis. I don't know if she's going to get anywhere with that. Although, is able to drop it back a little bit, although a little off balance when she does so. Medi dumps it forward. Calls for the back line to move up. Katie Burfoot sends it to the left. She's got some room. She has a little bit of help. Got Jane Davis on the right wing who's staying open, waiting for her opportunity. Not going to let her turn that easily. Well marked by Katarina there. Medi turns and sends it to that right wing, where Jane Davis has been waiting. It looks like it's going to go awkwardly back a little bit as Coffeyville stays forward. As many red shirts as there are gray right now. Of course, number 15 is now open again on the wing, where she's been a constant presence here. But in the end, that'll go out for kind of an unforced error there for a Coffeyville throw, and looks like a Coffeyville substitution. So looks like we actually have Medi taking a rare break here. A well-earned break, let's say. And it looks like her substitution is starting up much further than she was. Well, I think Grace Higgins might be slotting into Medi's position up there in center defense. Jane Davis closing her down there, but it's going to go towards the midfield. Quick cut back. And that was a mishit. Jane Davis fighting to keep control of that. Coffeyville stays with it. Tries to send it back up to her, and it'll go out for a throw-in. Looks like Jane Davis may have taken a bit of contact to her face there for a second, but she's all right. See, throw in towards the center from Katarina there. Goes to the back. Finds Sharisa. And the right back position. And Coffeyville has a chance here. They got a lot of bodies in the box right now. A lot of targets. Abigail sends it into the center. Comes off of a Wesleyan header. Very close there, very close indeed, but the attack's not over just yet. Tries to cut it back. Looks like that will be out for a throw-in. Shicky is there to stop it. Just one more job, just one more hat that he wears. Guy who helps play restart quickly. Coffeyville's up high now as they're looking for an opportunity. Abigail looking to unleash one of her players. I believe that was a substitution that she was aiming for, which is Valentina Vergez, who was, of course, on during the first half. Pretty sure she was just that she was one of the players who was subbed on. And she is essentially driven all the way out. You can see Coffeyville again. So many red shirts forward. Only the sweeper hanging back at midfield. Katarina with the throw-in again. And I believe that was the 4th foul throw of the game. Quite possibly a record. That may be more foul throws in this one game than was the rest of the season combined. I think I know what Coach Shicky might have them drilling on Friday. Got to be careful of that sort of thing. It's the fundamentals that get you. And good turn there by the Wesleyan player. She was pretty heavily marked by Katarina there. Finds some help on the right wing, onside. Good positioning. She's got some help. She'll try to turn, and oh, she'll try to send it back to that same player, and just knocked away by Alessandra just enough to redirect that. Excellent dive to the ground there just to push it away. The strongest opportunity that either side has had all half. Good build-up play from Oklahoma. Excellent triangles there with that same player on that right wing on the outside who's been a problem for Coffeyville that whole time. A huge part of that build-up. Ultimately the one to take that final touch, but Alessandra was wise to it. And looks like she's going to force Wesleyan to fetch their own ball from inside of her net, the backup there. Giving Coffeyville a second to get everything ready. And will she opt to swing it in towards the far post again, perhaps? Or will she go closer to the near post? Only one way to find out. Oh, no, she goes for the outside that time. And I believe that's going to be a throw in for Oklahoma. As Oklahoma is happy to let a few seconds count down there. Every second that goes by is a second closer to them scoring a narrow but important victory in this first season game. But still a lot of time left to go, and anything can happen, of course. That's going to be out for a corner. Last touch off of Coffeyville defender. And I believe this is Wesleyan's third corner of the game. Looks like they might try just a really short corner kick here. Two women on it. Maybe they're thinking to play it quickly at the corner. Again, burn a few precious seconds. And there it is. And plows right into her, but she keeps the ball, gets in further. Excellent touch away. I believe that was Emily Hanna on there with a crucial touch away. She's been a constant presence there on that back line. Jane Davis just a little bit far away from that, traveled out before she could get to it. You see number 9 for Oklahoma getting back into her position. Again, maybe hoping for a second bite at it out there. It's going to be off an Oklahoma player as it travels outside the 18. Deflected off by Coffeyville. Jaden Davis picking it up. A bit of a rough touch there. Abigail turns with it. Drops it out to the wing. Let's see the play. You can hear the players being urged forward. And even though she's closed down by 2 Coffeyville players, she keeps it under control. But unfortunately, her pass was not maybe that had the weight she wanted on it. Shicky's signaling from the half, urging the women forward. Taking it very slow there as Coffeyville players are being a little cautious. Looks like that caution will pay off here as they'll be able to get a goal kick. It's been kind of a habit of taking really short ones here and just building straight out of the penalty box. And looks like that's going to continue. You can see that second thought right there. It's like, you know what? No. And we thank her for that decision there. Very good vision to recognize how dangerous that would have been. No substitutions on the horizon right now. Looks like Coach Hickey's counting on the team he has out there to make this happen. A throw in from Katarina again. Touched away by Abigail, trying to get that under control. It was a little bit wild. Difficult to get under control. Katie Burfoot trying to close that one down. Kind of an awkward touch, but that same player is exploding out of the midfield. Takes a heavy touch. Exploited by Coffeyville, who has a great chance to counterattack. And looks like she just wasn't able to get away from her, I believe, on the left. Coffeyville might have a chance to push forward. And not quite going to make it to Abigail Moss with that touch right there. Need a little bit more on it. Oh, that was looking dangerous for just a second there. I believe that was Keesley who was trying to close that last one down. I believe, anyway. And again, they found that same player open on the far side. She's been a constant threat, and now she's got herself some space, which is even more threatening. Luckily, the touch was a little heavy, and a little quick work at the back cuts that out. Just 10.5 minutes left to go. No scores this half so far. Just a lot of close calls, and a lot of those close calls have been on Coffeyville's end. Holding on, trying to score on the counterattack, absorbing the pressure, but still facing the most danger. It's a bit of a mishit right there, as it's easily headed out again. Katarina with another touch on the ball there. Oh, very, very well done there. Very dangerous. Just trying to, like, move through just a forest of gray shirts. And yeah, that's, I think she might protest there, but I'm going to have to once again give that to the referee. I think that was a little bit too much from the from the back there from Katie Burfoot, and they take that quickly, again looking on that far side that they've had so much luck with, or at least so much danger with. She gets it through again. She's way in the corner there. What a good cross there. Brings it down, and oh my goodness, what a touch and what a volley. You cannot be unhappy to get scored on when it's that good. So it looks like Coffeyville now has 2 to build up off of. What good play from Oklahoma there. They did absolutely everything right. So now Coffeyville still has a chance, of course, to tie it up, or maybe even to get ahead, because as we know, this is not a conference game. So if they are able to tie it up, that's how it would end. All right, looks like Coffeyville is ready to restart once Oklahoma is back in position on their side of the pitch. All right, touch to the outside. Emily Hanna sends it forward. Doesn't get too far, though, unfortunately, but it'll just go back to Alessandra, who's had an excellent second half. Again, there was honestly nothing she could have done with that one to bring it out. Just sometimes it's just played too well. Doesn't matter if you're Eduardo Mendy or not, it's just going to go in. And once again, Coffeyville's on the attack. She's got some space there. And, oh, just knocked out by the Oklahoma player. I love what she was thinking. And Coffeyville has a chance here. She turns, looks like she wants to fire, and it's just enough of a deflection from an Oklahoma player to take the power off of that. And she's going to stand there for a second until someone puts pressure on there. She's happy to just wait. Again, just letting time tick away. Same player is watching her line there. Wonder if she might be able to get another breakaway. I'm just going to shepherd that one out. But unfortunately, no. She got that last touch, so it'll be out for a corner kick. And Oklahoma has a chance to let some time tick down while they set up for another set piece. So far, we've seen mostly towards the outside, far post, top of the box, also around the far post. They've built up from a couple short corners. Let's see how they handle this one. She stands 10 yards away, not needing to be called back by the referee. Steps in, and she is into the penalty box, and ooh, that's to the side netting. There's no half points for being close, though. Only in horseshoes and hand grenades, but not in football. Coffeyville, with the remaining 6.5 minutes, needs to put something on the board to have a chance here. I'm gonna dump that forward. I think she was kind of hoping that that run would have continued, but we've got some help to try to do something with it. Tries to throw her body in front of it, just gets it around her to build it back on the near post. Excuse me, not the near post, the near side. Being well marked there from Keesley, number 13. Now all the way back to, I believe that is Charissa in the back, number 8. Ooh, good touch there. Katie Burfoot finds some help, and oh, what a good touch. She is onside. She's trying to decide if she wants to turn a break forward or look to unleash someone else. And oh, that's in a good spot there, but it just did not go as far as she probably would have wanted to hopefully be able to pressure that. Was looking for Keesley there on the outside, and I like what she was thinking. That kind of attitude is going to be what gets Coffeyville on the board here. And yeah, there's a little contact after the touch there, and Oklahoma will get the free kick, and I believe that is the 3rd foul from Leah. Does the referee remember? I don't. Either he didn't think it was too bad, or he thinks 3 is okay, or maybe he forgot. Either way, we will take her not getting a yellow card. We do know that accumulation is a thing in KJCCC, so no sense in picking up late yellows. That might come back to haunt him later in the season. Oklahoma building up out of the back here. Aaliyah once again here to be part of the play. Oh, look who they found. Found that same dangerous player who pops up on the wing so many times. She cuts in, and oh, this time she was sniffed out. But looks like she might, yes, she might be the one to cut out the Coffeyville attack before it could really get started. So good on her for staying with it. Goes to Abigail in the midfield. Trying to knock Aaliyah forward, who is not going to let that go without a fight. Say what you will about her. She is not taking anything lying down tonight. She's made a few other players lie down, thankfully. For not too long, at least. And again, still no substitutions. Looks like this may be the team that carries us through to full time. That was, I think, a bit of a miss hit there, but she played it off like it was on purpose, and for that, we salute her. Play back to their goalie. Nice to send it to number 15, who has kind of been the constant open outlet for her goalie this half. I think that came off of Oklahoma. Yes, it did. It'll be a Coffeyville throw-in. Well spotted by the linesman and the center referee. Katie Burfoot sprinting in there, and now Abigail looking to disrupt this play, and That does not get far past, I believe that was Emily Hanna who brought that down, if I'm not mistaken. Grace Higgins there, closing that down. Abigail drops it to the left, and clean tackle, says the referee. Oh, good on Coffeyville to get a touch on that. They've got a chance to attack here, and sends that pretty far forward, but most of her players were still about level with her. So the goalie will opt to waste just a little bit of time before she scoops that up. Less than 2 minutes now. Coffeyville played a pretty hard game tonight. Oklahoma Wesleyan is, of course, a good team. I seem to recall a similar game last season. Of course, that was months ago, i.e. ancient history, so who can tell? But still, they've shown that they have a lot to work with and some stuff to work on. I think that's what's going to be interesting to watch during this season, is to watch these women improve as they work together even better, use some of the experience of their stronger and veteran players, and gonna call that back for an Oklahoma throw-in, and of course build off some of their new talent. Still a long way to go, and of course, once again, reminding the fans watching from afar and at home that this is a non-conference game. So while of course it is always good to see wins whenever possible, if you got to have a loss, you want it to be a non-conference game. So there's still going to be a lot more where that came from, thankfully. Speaking of which, as we have this 38 seconds left here as the ball gets kicked out of the Oklahoma box here, we have the next game is away for the women on Monday, August 23rd. And our first conference game is going to be back at home against Johnson, Wednesday, September 1st at 5 p.m. I am very sad to say I'm going to miss that one, and I'm going to be upset the entire time because that is going to be a game to look forward to. I'm sure we'll have Dirk Andrews out, who's a much better announcer than me. So here in not too long now, a couple weeks, you'll have that game to look forward to versus Johnson. And in the meantime, thank you everyone for joining us from wherever you joined us, and we will see you next time.